I gotta tell you, this trolling motor is no joke. I almost think it's faster than our 9.9. So I'm not gonna lie, I've been back and forth on how I wanted to put my transducers on. I wasn't sure if I should put my Helix 9 transducer on the back or if I should just go ahead and put it on my Ulterra. Being I've done a transducer mount on a trolling motor for my MInn Kota Ulterra, I don't feel uncomfortable putting a mount on for my MInn Kota Ulterra. We're going to hop it up with a transducer. So for an Ulterra, this is the mounting kit that you're gonna need. It doesn't really tell you very much, but this is a Humminbird trolling motor mega side imaging transducer mount, and this is what you're going to need if you're going to have side imaging and you want to put it on your Ulterra. These are large enough to get on there. Some of the other mounts are a little smaller. They're more for the Terraras and then down. One of the things you're going to need to do right off the bat is you're going to have to feed your end through the mount hole. If you forget to do this, that's a bad thing, because once you're mounted up and you're wired up, you're going to be like, oh crap, where do I put that? So that is one of the very first things you have to do, is get that wire through the mount so that you can install this correctly. All right, so you see we got our wire in there, and it's got a nice little channel that your wire is going to fall out and it's going to pop off the side there. So this is by no means hard, but a bit tedious. 8 screws that go on here. Make sure you put your lock washer on before you drop in the screw. This, I have no clue what this is for. I have no clue. I don't know if it's a ground or what it is, but there's nothing in the instructions for it. I have no idea what it's for. You certainly don't want to over tighten anything that has anything to do with plastic. It does have a notch here for the skeg. Your wire is going to be coming down off the bottom, and then we're just going to simply get our band clamps, and we are going to put those band clamps wrapped around it, and it gives us 2 areas to put the band clamps around the motor itself. Okay, so we're snugged up there. So that's pretty much what we're going to be looking at there. This is not going to be where it is. Of course, we're going to get everything nice and even, and everything's going to look nicey. If you fish in the weeds, some of the stuff that's overhanging can get in the way and grab some weeds. That one's looking pretty good there. Now we're going to put our wiring. It does go through the bottom. So we do have a ring here, which I don't think is going to be affected. So we're going to put a clamp around that to keep that wiring there. On the Ulterra, there's a little cutout for my wire to go through where it doesn't get pinched with a clamp. So what's going to happen here now is we're going to have our bicycle coil that's going to take this wire up so we don't have damage. I have a eyelet that I'm actually going to put right into the screw hole here, and everything will stay tight, and that's where I'm going to clip the bicycle cable. If you'd like, go to my channel on how to mount a transducer to a MInn Kota Ulterra, and that I'll put the link right up here. So if you'd like to check that out, you can click right over. This is just pretty much about the javelin, so there's going to be some little areas of here's and there's, but this is how we're doing it on Ulterra. It's going to be pretty much the exact same way as we did on a Ulterra, but there's going to be a few different things that we're going to run into that we'll figure out as we go. Here's what you're going to need to make this work. You're going to need a couple carabiners, and you're going to need a bicycle lock. It's cabled up, and it's a cable in there, and this is going to keep our transducer wire from getting damaged. If you put it too tight, there's an opportunity for it to get pinched. This will keep that from happening. This will give us plenty of slack. So here's our bicycle cable that we're going to be using. Really, I can't open this. So this is basically, your cable is just going to wrap along with our bicycle cable. This cable cover, it's really meant for, I believe, your computer wires and stuff like that. But what was happening to me, and might happen to you, is when I zip tied it, I had a ton of weeds getting caught up on the hooks of my zip tie. Now, if you're going to be in open water, the zip ties are going to be just fine. But for me, you know, I want to go where the bass like to hang, and a lot of times they are hanging out in the weed factor. So I try to get where they're at, and that does kind of get your trolling motor kind of weeded up. This really gives us a really clean look. I really like this idea. I haven't seen anybody else use this. Now you're still gonna have to put a zip tie or two in it, or even black tape, just a couple, just to keep this from popping off on you. That keeps both cables nice and tight together. It's a very clean look. When this is deployed, we're gonna need some extra wire for when we bring this back and up. So the next thing we're gonna do is bring our wire down, and I think we're gonna put it right into the hole, and we're gonna tuck everything in and then come right back up and hook up to our Helix 9. So this is just easily gonna clip here. I'm going to put the transducer wire through someplace here, up in here, and I'll have it exposed here. So that's gonna slide all as one. The cable will give me plenty of slide. So what I did here is I took our MInn Kota cover here and I ground out a couple little tab holes here where our wire is going to go in and out, so we can kind of tuck that wire in there nicely, so that will look nice on our plate. And that's going to come right through here and come back out. We got some moving parts in there. We need to make sure that stays nice and clean. We're going to put our hook in here, and this basically is just a raw hook. It'll grab in there, and when those threads get into the plastic, it'll hold the plastic tight as well, but you got to push down on it. And this is going to come up here and clip on this. That is very nice. Let's see how things look here. I'm very pleased with that. So what I've done here is I've taken the beauty ring and I've run my wire down in, and I'm running it back up. So that's what we're looking at. That's our wiring exposed. And this will be able to come back and forth. Okay, we just got everything plugged in here, and we are now installing our Humminbird Helix 9. That's about where I like it. That's a nice spot for it. And yeah, we're getting there. This boat is coming together, and hoping to get it on the water soon. Hope you can join us.